First thing, there's no magazine in the rifle. There's nothing in the chamber. There's no ammunition on the workbench. So, table is clear and weapon is clear. Alright, so when do you know that you need to do trigger work on your AR? First, the trigger could feel heavier than it should. You could be getting light strikes where it's not even firing around, or it could possibly feel gritty. Now, some of these might be because the internal components are, going out, or some of these could be from just dirty components. So at that point, you need to take the weapon apart, figure out what's wrong with the trigger, and then go from there. If it's just dirty, you clean it and put it back into action. Now, if there's something bigger wrong with it, then you're going to have to either inspect each individual component and take it apart, or possibly you can see it right off the get-go if one of the springs has an extra bend in it and it's been damaged. That could possibly be it. When improper trigger work has been performed, you run the risk of light strikes. If somebody's modifying any of the springs, trying to save some money by reusing them, they could potentially bend them too much and put too much elasticity in them, or not enough, and that's going to affect the firing of the firing pin. And then additionally, it could have an accidental discharge too, where the safety stops working because they've filed something off too much. So when you're going through your firearm, you want to just do a simple dry fire test. You can load dummy rounds in this, which we'll do. And that's just to simulate what it would be like. So if it's going to load a round, if it's going to fire correctly. So it's the easiest way to diagnose a problem. 2 dummy rounds into here. Alright, we got the magazine in. First one's loaded. Now going through the inspection, something we can do. It's on safe. It's not firing. So that's a good indicator. Alright, we got another indicator that it fired. So that dummy round went out. Next dummy round went in. So on this one, another thing, I'm going to switch back to safe. I'm going to drop it. And you see, it didn't fire. So those are some of the things I'm looking for. Without actually firing it, it's hard to get some of the other problems unless the customer says that it's not cycling properly. Then it could be a gas tube problem or something like that. But with this, everything is working, and you can see last round came out. Alright, so the safety switch, another thing is we can take this apart. We can look in at these internal components. So just to have it, and you're looking at the disconnector and things like that to make sure there's not excessive wear. On a civilian version, most likely there won't be too much wear on that because they don't see as much action as the military firearms. Now in the military firearms, you got also the 3-round burst, but you got to think you have a bunch of 18 and 20-year-olds running around firing thousands of rounds through these for training purposes and stuff. They're getting in the dirt. These get a lot more worn compared to personal firearms. They're taking better care of it because it's, one, their personal property, and 2, they're not going to be doing as strenuous activities as the military is. Alright, easiest thing to repair or work on, I believe, is the BCG. Just because you can take it out, take it over to the bench. It's minimal to take it apart, and it's real easy to see if the firing pin or something like that is having problems. I believe the harder thing would be to work on would be the gas system, because you're taking off more components that don't come off with the field stripping, and then you also have to determine, is it actually the gas system? It could be the gas block, it could be the tube timing is off, or it could be something clogged in it. And then also with it, Firing, if it's not firing properly or cycling properly, is it the gas system or is it the trigger? It's a little more difficult to access that system. Like between the firing pin, you're getting a light strike. Is it the firing pin? Is it the trigger? So it's a little bit more complicated on that, but the gas system, it could be a combination of things or it could just be that.